Yoshida and Goto were going to his house, and in the way Goto asked him about how he found Sayu, and how she is now living with him, and then he told her everything about her. Goto sees Sayu and asks her if she is okay and if Yoshida has done anything to her, and then they kept talking, but Yoshida felt that he needs to give them some space, so he went to the toilet. But then, when he got out of the toilet, Sayu asked him to go bring some groceries, and then she and Goto started talking seriously, and Goto asked her about where she came from and how much she has been on the run. Then Sayu told her everything except for why she left her family. Goto also knew that she had been moving a lot the past 6 months, and she had to sleep with every man in order to find somewhere to stay, and eventually they throw her away after some time, and then Sayu burst crying and Goto hugs her to try calming her. Meanwhile Yoshida met Mishima outside, and she told him that it's a coincidence, and she was just watching a movie before they met. She goes with him to shopping, and when they finished, she asked him if it is okay to come to his home, and then she told him that she stalked them when she saw him and Goto leaving the work together, and she also knows that Goto is in his place, but she thought that he is alone with her and Sayu is now outside. And then she asks him if he loves Goto, and he answered yes, and Mishima felt heartbroken because he has feeling for Goto, but he didn't answer her when she asked him who he prefers, Sayu or Goto. Meanwhile Sayu asks Goto if she loves Yoshida, and she tells her that she really loves him, and Sayu felt relieved because their love is mutual, and Goto was happy because Sayu is rooting for their relationship. Mishima later goes home, and Yoshida returned to Sayu and Goto, but he found Goto was putting some makeup on Sayu and she looked beautiful, which made him feel embarrassed. And when he escorted Goto to her home, she told him to take care of Sayu and make her happy because she is a kind girl. The next day Sayu saw her new co-worker, and his name was Kyuya, and he was one of the men she stayed and slept with him before. Despite Sayu trying to deny that she knows him, but he told her that he doesn't forget any woman he slept with. Sayu was scared, and then Asami interrupted them, and she gave Kyuya a death glare after she saw Sayu terrified. And after they finished their work, Sayu was going home, but Kyuya was waiting for her, and then he threatens her, if she didn't bring him home with her, he will tell everyone at work about their relationship. Sayu was frustrated, as she started to live a normal life, her past still haunted her and now she has to deal with it. Sayu later messaged Yoshida and told him that she will bring her senpai home with her, then Kyuya went with her home and he chatted with her and knew that Yoshida is a gentleman who doesn't take advantage of her, and then he approaches her, but when she refused, he tried to force himself on her, and Sayu was hopeless and heartbroken and she told him to do it. Suddenly Yoshida arrives and kicks him out, and he asked him why he done this to her. Then Kyuya tells him everything about his past relationship with her, and he keeps provoking Yoshida with his bad talking about Sayu. Then Yoshida snaps at him, and tells him that they are all criminals, taking advantage of a weak girl like her, that her only fault is that she ran from her family. Then Kyuya tells him that he is also a criminal, because he lets her stay with him without her family's permission. Then Yoshida realizes that Kyuya is right, but he can't leave her alone when she needs help. Is it wrong to help a girl like her to live a normal life? Then Yoshida tells him to stay away from her and don't approach her again. He gets back to Sayu and embraces her while she was crying her heart out, and she tells him that her past will never let her live a normal life, and then Yoshida tells her that he is supporting her and he will stay with her and help her to live a normal teenage life, and after what he said Sayu accepted her past and she decided to move forward. Sayu went to work and Asami was worried about her, and she asked her if Kyuya hurt her or something, but Sayu didn't tell her, and then Asami went to ask Kyuya and he told her what he done to her, including forcing himself on her. Then Asami got angry and slapped him, and she told him to apologize to Sayu. Then Asami went to work, and Sayu asked him why he didn't tell anyone about their past relationship, but he strangely told her that he promised not to tell anyone if she brought him home with her. Yoshida later tells Sayu that he will spend the night at work, and when Asami knew that she offered to spend the night with Sayu, then she took her to her house to bring some clothes, and she tells her about her family, and that this is her first time telling someone about her family and showing them her house. Sayu also told her about her past and that she ran away from her family 6 months ago, and then Asami took Sayu to a place where they can watch the moon and the stars clearly, and Asami continued talking about her family and her life, and she told Sayu to not let her past affect her future, and that everyone has a past that he doesn't like, and then Sayu started crying out of joy, because she felt that she finally found a good friend after what she has been through. The next day Yoshida returned home early, and he thanked Sayu for everything she is doing, and he apologized to her because he didn't save her from Kyuya. But Sayu tells him that he already did, and knows she will focus only on her future, and she wants to stay with him for some time until she recovers. The relationship between Sayu and Asami started to grow, and Asami offered Sayu to help her with a new special dinner, and then Sayu messaged Yoshida and told him about the special dinner that she made for him. In the meanwhile, Mishima was sitting and watching Yoshida messaging Sayu and was jealous of her, especially when she doesn't have his number, but when she saw Gota getting close to him, she got angry and had to speak it out with her. After she invited her to lunch, she asked Goto if she is okay if Sayu took Yoshida from her, and she was angry because Goto loves him and now it is harder for her to make Yoshida fall for her. Despite she was angry and was shouting, Goto took it easy and told her that he is free to choose who he loves, but it was obviously that he is head over heels for her. Mishima later invite Yoshida to watch a movie with her, but he declines because Sayu is making him dinner and he promised her to return home early, and then Mishima took his phone number despite he was against it first, and then she confessed her love to him, but Yoshida freezes and didn't know what to say. Yoshida get home and he loved the dinner Sayu made for him with Asami, and in the next day Sayu was making chores and he offered her some help, but she told him that it's her role to do the chores, but while she is telling him she stumbles and fell on him and they had some quiet and sweet moment, and then he went to take a shower. And while he was taking the shower Sayu searched through a box and found his photos from when he was still in high school, and she saw his crush at that moment. When he got out of the bathroom she told him about the photos, and then she knew that he had a crush on his teacher and that's why he doesn't sleep with a young girl like her, and then Yoshida told her about how his teacher left him and was always telling him that he attaches like a leech. And later at work Sayu saw a rich man getting down from a fancy car, and then when she saw his face she got scared and Kyuya noticed her and knew that she knows this man and doesn't want him to see her. Kyuya then helped her to hide in the office and spoke with this man who was looking for Sayu. Sayu told Asami about this man and that he is her brother and she was scared to meet him, and then Kyuya enters the office and told her that he is gone but he is serious about finding her, and then Sayu didn't know what to do because she is not ready to get back to her family. Later Yoshida messaged Sayu and told her that he will get home late tonight, and then Sayu went shopping. And then she met Mishima by coincidence after shopping, and she had a little chat with her until she saw her brother and asked Mishima to help her hide, then Mishima helped her and took her to a cafe and asked her about who is she hiding from, but Sayu didn't tell her that she is hiding from her brother. Mishima told Yoshida that she is with Sayu and he doesn't have to worry about her, but then when Yoshida saw her message he immediately got worried and went to check on her. He took Sayu to home but Mishima started crying because she saw Yoshida looks at Sayu with a different way than he looks at her. When they were going home, they find a poster about the summer festival the next day, then they decide to go and enjoy it. In the next day, Sayu wore a yukata and Yoshida was embarrassed to look at her because she was very beautiful in it. They walked through the festival and Sayu tried cotton candy for the first time, but when a little kid pushes her, she was about to fall but Yoshida grabbed her hand, and they both got quiet, and maybe now we have some spark between them, and then they watched the fireworks together while holding hands. In the next morning someone rings the doorbell, and Yoshida went to open the door to find that Sayu's brother is outside, and he came to take Sayu back home with him. And that's the end of the video. Please tell me your opinion, and like the video. Take care, and watch other interesting videos. See you in the next video.